Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to tonight's edition of Visibility Made Easy. My name's Jenny Kovacs, and it's a bit hot up here today, so I'm just stripping off as we start. My name's Jenny Kovacs. I'm known as the Queen of Being Seen because your visibility and you standing out, being seen, being heard, making a difference in the world, and being visible is what I do best and what I love to do. So, if you're watching this for the first time, welcome. Thank you so much for coming along. And if this isn't your first time, and you'll know the drill. You'll know that you can see me, but I can't see you. You'll know that I know that somebody's here, somebody's watching. I know that some of you are watching, but unless you either type your name in the box below or say hello, I don't know who you are. So, first things first, let's test out and make sure that this is working, shall we? So, I am just going to check on here. Hopefully you can see me, hopefully you can hear me, and hopefully you can feel my vibe. So pop your name in the box below, say hi, let me know where in the world you're watching, because of course it's the evening here in London in the UK, but if you're watching in certain parts of the world, it's still either the morning, the lunchtime, maybe even the middle of the night. So I am going to check on here just to make sure that we're all good to go. So tonight I am talking about deciding to decide. Now you might be thinking to yourself, what on earth has that got to do with visibility? What on earth has that got to do with standing out? Well, deciding to decide has everything to do with standing out, and here's why. So I'm just going to double check that I am streaming. Yay! I can see I'm live. So just do me a favour. Will you just either give me a thumbs up or a love heart just across the screen so that I know for sure that everything's working as it should. And if you feel so inclined, just say a quick hello in the box. And that way I can tell whether this is doing what it's supposed to do. But do you know what? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. So I'm just going to now, do I make a call? Do I start again or do I continue? I'm going to continue. My hope and my desire is, of course, that this is recording okay, that you can hear me, and that you, when you watch this back, that you'll be able just to catch up and do whatever you need to do yourselves. So I am just making sure that the lovely vibers know that everything's going online. So Wednesday is a funny day. Wednesday is a day that many people that I know, many of my peers, many people in my space, they get up at 6 a.m. to watch Shah Wasman. So we were all up really, really early. And as we gallop towards the spring and the summer, one of the things that I will be doing, and this comes from my decision of deciding to decide, and I'll explain a bit more about that in a second, but one of the things that I will be doing is starting my 5 a.m. starts again. So last summer, when I asked Shah Wasman, you know, how do you fit so much in a day? How do you, even if you're being efficient and effective with your time, how do you fit in even more? She said, easy. Make sure you wake up between 5 a.m. and 5:30, and just wake up a bit earlier, get stuff done then. So last summer I did that. This summer I have got a big mission. So between 5:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. or maybe even 8 a.m. I'm going to be working on this big mission, working on this quite big project, which will, I hope, come to fruition, and you'll see the results of that in 2018. So watch this space. So if you're watching this and you're saying, who on earth is Shah Wasman? Who's this person that I'm talking about? Have a scroll down beneath this video, go past the stationery, and go down, and you'll see where I shared her Wednesday live. Now, I do a 7 a.m. Wednesday live on my other page. However, she does 6 a.m. every Wednesday. So she's pretty hardcore, and she's pretty fiery and fired up at that time of the morning too. So if you haven't already and you're thinking about starting a business, you're in business, you want to do more in your business, then definitely go through and check her out. So deciding to decide. What a strange topic, you know, to share on a Visibility Made Easy. Well, it isn't really when I tell you how it came about. So, hey, good evening. Oh, it is shown on my screen. Brilliant. Good evening. Thank you for that, France-Lise. I thought I was having my techie problems with the comments not showing again. So, oh, you like my top? Thank you. It's got lots of feathers on it. Thank you very much. I don't often wear pink. Pink is not a colour that I normally go for. But I'm embracing the pink today, so thank you very much. So, why have I done this Visibility Made Easy on Deciding to Decide? Well, you'll know that all these visibility nuggets are purely designed to make your life of getting out there in the world, putting yourself out there, standing out, raising your profile much easier than it needs to be. In fact, I'm a specialist in this area, and I often see people making it a lot more complicated, making it a lot harder. Sometimes they do it with their mind, so their mindset, I wouldn't even say that their mindset's off, they just think that it's more difficult than it is. Oh, Ali's saying she doesn't have sound. France-Lise, can you hear me okay? That's a bit strange. It could be internet connection. Gosh. I hope so. So Ali cannot hear me, but France-Lise can. Let me press play on my video and I will soon find out. Let me press play. Yeah, I've got it on here, so it could be connection. Sorry, Ali. And that likely means that your internet connection might be a bit kind of shonky. It's my word of the year, shonky. My word of the week is balls, and I don't mean that in a rude way. Phew, Ali, it's your iPad. That's all right, Ali. But thank you for making sure that I am alert and awake, because I didn't think I was for a moment. I was like, ah. So, now you can hear me. I will proceed to tell you the story, and I've specially switched my camera around today. Oh, there's something sticking out of my wardrobe, look. There's something that I'm going to show you today. So I've made sure that my camera isn't doing the mirror image thing. Now, I discovered very recently that not only do my Visibility Vibers love stationery, but my friends adore stationery too. So let me show you what I bought today. And the reason that I'm going to show you what I've bought today, this actually has got, is really nicely ties in with the Deciding to Decide. But I'm going to cut to the stationery first. Now, I was introduced to these books last year, Lectern books. Now, the reason that I love them, and the reason that I think they're better than Moleskine, is because you can get them in either plain, you can get them ruled, or you can get them, you know, so lines, or you can get them in grids. So you can do whatever you need with the book, but that's not all. You've got a really nice, you know, they come in the most amazing colours, including black, brown, greys and things like that if you want to look more professional. They come in amazing colours. They've got matching kind of, you know, page dividers. But inside, they have also got an index, which means, you know, when you make lots and lots of notes for whatever subject you're writing on, maybe it's a journal, maybe you're planning something, maybe it's your business book, maybe it's your project book. Well, at the front they've got an index so that you can index everything, but the pages are numbered. So because the pages are numbered, it means that you can find things easily and go back for reference. So when I was first told about these books, I knew you could get them online, and I got them from Amazon. And then at the weekend, when I was with my lovely man walking through Greenwich, I saw a shop that was shut but had these in the window. I mean, check out these lovely colours. Look at the colour of that one. So this is an A4 version, and it's the thin version. They do another one which has got more pages, which is uber thick. So I got this A4 one in green. I got this pink one, A4. And then I got like an A5 in this lovely, vibrant blue. So when you put all those juicy colours together, look how amazing they are. But that's not it. There's a reason I'm showing you this, a very valid reason. So the next thing that I've got here, and I showed this to my Facebook friends, look at this lovely, I'm going to try and hold it close, so it's got plastic on it. But those flamingos, the pink flamingos that are on there, have got little crowns and they're gold. actual metallic gold. It's hard to see through the packet, but guess what's inside? The most amazing sticky notes that I've seen. Now, Namisha, if you watch this on the replay, you're going to be gutted that you missed this, because I showed this on my private timeline and people love these pages. So you've got like these sticky notes here, which have got like a nice kind of border to them. Then you've got a slightly smaller size of sticky note just here. And then underneath, you've got some other sizes culminating in, look at that, like index pieces. So just over here are 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get the camera right. How amazing is that? So Alan's hopped on. Hi Jenny. Hi everyone, says Alan. Hi. So I'm just showing this this stationery that I got. Now there's a very good reason that I got this stationery. I bought it because I decided to decide. So you often hear people sort of going out and doing things in the world, and if you're not the person doing it, in terms of visibility, what you sometimes get is what I call comparisonitis. France Lee says that's pretty. So sorry, someone's sending me a message. Someone's sending me a message. I've just seen that you're doing a Facebook Live. Are you doing it to your group, or where are you doing it? Sorry, I'll have to answer that question later. So quite often we look at other people, and I have clients that do it, and I know that I've certainly done it in my time. I've looked at other people and I've just thought to myself, you know, well, I want to get out there, you know, I want to do this thing, I want to do that thing, and then I see someone else has maybe done it. Now, a couple of different emotions happen, and this is really important to note when it comes to all things visibility. If you find that somebody has done something that you wanted to do, and when they've achieved it, maybe they've achieved it before you have done, you find yourself celebrating, that is completely the best way to be. Sorry, I've just made myself go really dark now. I didn't mean to do that. That's completely the best way to be, because you're embracing, and you know, it's like how you do anything is how you do everything. And if you're able to celebrate others easily, you're able to celebrate yourself too. Sometimes we see other people and we think, oh, damn and blast, you know, I really wanted to do that, and now I'm peed off because I didn't get there first. And that's kind of a competitive edge, which amongst entrepreneurial types is pretty normal. Although after that feeling, very quickly you'll be kind of celebrating them, high-fiving them and everything else. And then sometimes we see things that other people do, and we have this comparisonitis piece. And this is where it creeps into our mind and we think, gosh, you know, they're better than me. They're normally more than something than you. If you've ever had that experience, any of those experiences at all, just give me a thumbs up or a love heart across the screen. You don't have to say who it was, what it was, or anything else like that. But if you've ever experienced that, I know I certainly have, then do give me something across the screen. So one of the things that's really pivotal, one of the things that's really pivotal in when you're getting out there, when you're doing your thing, is deciding to decide. Everything starts with a decision. So I made a couple of notes of some insights and some sort of actions for you to take. Go away, implement them, take them. Nothing heavy, but very, very easy to implement, which will move you towards the thing that you're looking to gain and away from the thing that you feel is holding you back or stopping you. So I bought that stationery today for a very specific reason. I have started to let people know that in 2018 I would love to have a book published by a recognised publishing house. Now I'm not going to get attached to the outcome of that, who it is, what they're doing or anything else, but I am going to go for it, you know, or go for gold as they used to say in my generation. I am going to go for it. So there's certain things that in order to go for it, I've needed to make a decision on. I've needed to decide to do things in a certain way. I've needed to make decisions to take certain actions. So the first thing is deciding to decide. And one of the strangest phenomena that I get when people come to me and they are in indecision mode, they show up in a completely different way to someone who has decided to decide. Let me give you an example. I sometimes have people come to me, hey Candy, how you doing? Thank you for joining. I sometimes have people who come to me and they say, look, I really want to go to your workshop, or I really want to do one of your programs, but... Now, when you put the word but in, it kind of negates everything else that you've just said. And many coaches are kind of told to look out for this word. Shouldn't let it stop you. Hey, Janet, shouldn't let it stop you. Definitely let it propel you forward. And definitely don't be one of those people that tries to change their language. I've spoken to people before and they're coaches and they say, I want to do this thing. And they stretch out the and when they really mean but, you know. So if you're adding a but, it means the thing that you've said before, you're likely to either not have faith in that thing that you've said, you're likely to have some self-doubt around it. It could be that you're likely to be kind of, you know, a little bit of trepidation about it. And that's okay. There's no right or wrong here. It doesn't matter if you do. But if you say but, it's likely that you haven't fully decided. And I often have conversations with people, sometimes written conversations, and they'll talk about a workshop that I'm running, they'll talk about a program that I'm doing or something like that, and they'll want me to make the decision for them. And I know I have my own business and I know that sales matter and everything else like that. However, my job is not to sell anybody onto anything. My job is to facilitate the change that they're looking for, facilitate the transformation. And often it's a really pleasurable and easy path. However, there'll be bits where you're pushed outside your comfort zone. You're having to think differently. You're having to think new thoughts. You're having to do things in a different way. And it feels a bit scary. And it's interesting because I know that one of the Vibers shared a couple of weeks ago, they had a breakthrough with naming a talk that they wanted to do. But even getting to that piece, there was something that just didn't feel right for them, something that didn't feel, you know, as they were going through the process, it didn't feel smooth and in flow and everything else. It felt a bit scary and they felt a bit nervous about it. And that's okay too, because these things happen. And often I think that when you decide to decide, although it feels a bit scary and it feels a bit nerve-wracking and everything else as well, it actually is that decision that propels you forward. So I'd like you just to take a moment to think about something that you've had to decide on recently. Maybe it's been a purchase, purchasing those books. For those of you that have been hopping on since we started, I'm just going to show you two of the things that I bought today, which have got everything to do with this deciding to decide. So one of them's a Lectern book, notebook. It's a lined book. You can get them plain or you can get them dotted. And there's an index in the front and the pages are printed and numbered. You've got a nice pouch at the back and a holder. I prefer these to Moleskine. And the reason I like them is that you can index things. And then I decided to treat myself to some of these. I'm holding them close, so you probably see my reflection on there of the phone. Because those pink flamingos have got little gold tips on them. But inside, look at those Post-its. Oh, they're not Post-its, they're sticky notes. That's the trade name. All different shapes and sizes, including down at the bottom there, you've got like these index-sized ones. So you can put them in books and stuff like that. Can you see? So pretty. I love them. And the reason I bought those is because I am working on a couple of different projects and I want to be able to order my notes. I want to be able to, I don't want to have to keep flicking backwards and forwards and trying to remember where I've put things. I want to get more organised and get more ordered. So think of a decision that you've had to make recently and think about before you made the decision. There's only kind of 3 places to go, 2 preferably that you can go to, but you end up going to one decision. Now, the decision that you can make is a definite yes, a definite no, or a maybe. Now, let's discount the maybe. Maybe is like the glue that sticks you in this horrible indecision. You know that kind of, I can't make up my mind feeling. When you're in indecision, it feels horrible, it doesn't feel transformational, and it definitely doesn't propel you into action. When you're in this sticky maybe, you haven't decided. And sometimes before you can decide, whether it's the yes or the no, you have to decide to decide. So think about your end goal. Think about the thing you want. Is it a book you want to write? Is it a new online program you want to do? Is it more visibility and finding a way to get out there? Is it a promotion at work? Is it something else? Is it deciding not to be overwhelmed? Because that's a decision. People often say, well, I can't sit in silence. I just can't do that. Well, that's a decision to do less than you're currently doing. That's the real reason why people get stuck in that place. So look at your decisions. Is it a yes? Is it a no? And if you're in the maybe, then decide to decide. It's a choice. It's like happiness. It's a choice. It's a decision that you make. It's like peace. It's a decision that you make. It's like overwhelm. Overwhelm is a decision that you make. Only unfortunately, you choose to be filled up. You choose to be confused. We've all been there. We all do it. But that is actually a decision. So decide to decide. Why? Because when you want to go for something, whether it's visibility, more visibility, whether it's raising your profile, putting yourself out there, you need to make a decision before you start. And visibility can be made really easy, or it can be made very difficult. You decide. So once you've decided that, yes, you're going to be more visible, you know, and if you've got a business or thinking about starting a business, one thing that you have to get really comfortable with is putting yourself out there, is putting your products out there. So the decision that you should be making is let that be easy, hence visibility made easy. So once you've decided to let that be easy and start putting yourself out there, how do you do it? Here's how you do it. You trust your gut, you trust your instinct, you trust your intuition. How do you do that? You get quiet. You find a way that you can get quiet. The best way that I know that so many people do but don't take it to this step is that you start off your day with quiet, which sounds ridiculous when you think, well, I've just woken up, so I've been asleep all night. But here's what happens. You wake up, you've been asleep all night, and then you decide to set yourself up for the successes that you want in the day. You make a decision to have the kind of day that's going to, you know, fill your soul, you know, juice your vibe, make you really kind of spring out of bed or do whatever you need to do. So the decision might be just to sit for 5 minutes. It could be to sit and journal, and we now know of some really lovely books where you can do that. The decision might be to meditate. The decision might be to pray. The decision might be to stare out the window. The decision might be to go for a run. The decision might be to go for a walk. The decision might be to daydream. The decision might be to lie on the floor and look at the ceiling or the sky. The decision might be to have a bath before the kids get up. But you need to decide to decide. Once you've done that, you've got quiet. It means that whatever happens in your day, whatever life throws at you, it's almost like you've built your tent of quietness for your day, and you can go back and revisit that anytime you want. It so helps. Unfortunately, many of us get up, we catapult ourselves into our day, normally because we've got our mobile phone close to our beds for a high percentage of people across the world. There are billions of people that do that. They might pick up their mobile phone first thing, check their phone. Some people even like pick up their computer. They've got a laptop and check that first thing. That is not setting yourself up for the sort of day that means that you can be whoever you want to be, do whatever you want to do, and have the life that you want to have. So instead of getting up and going like straight to the newspaper or straight to your phone or checking Facebook or going online or anything else like that, take some time for yourself, even if it's 5 minutes. Take that time for yourself. So once you've made the decision to decide, you know that you're deciding a firm yes or a firm no. And a firm no isn't wrong, by the way. Somehow no's have had a bad rap. But you know sometimes you need to make a decision. You don't want the indecisiveness or the indecision. You want a definite yes or a definite no. Then you're good. You know what you're doing. Go on with your day. You then get quiet. So you've started your day and you've got quiet. You know what it is you're trying to decide and everything else. Now, the benefits of that is it means that you can listen within. It means that there's no compromise. It means that your yes is your yes and your no is your no. It means that you know where to apply your visibility. You know where to apply your work. It means that you know where to put your focus and your attention. And it is like the catalyst. It's like the smallest thing that makes the biggest difference to the rest of your day. So have a little think about this and let me know, either here or over in the Visibility Vibes tribe if you want to keep it a bit more private. Remember that this is a public page, so anything that you post on here, everyone can read. And do remember to share this with your friends or on your timeline. I'd be so grateful to you. But if you want a little bit more of a private space, always feel free to go over into the Visibility Vibes group and just type a comment. Say, I've watched Visibility Made Easy this evening and I'm deciding to decide on, and type whatever else there, or even put in there and say, what I got from this Visibility Made Easy was, and type it out, declare it. Now, if you have got a plan and it's incubating and you don't want to share it, I get that too, because when I first decided that I wanted to write the book, I didn't go and shout it out and tell everyone. It's a bit like when you're planting seeds in your garden. I used to have a vegetable patch. You plant it and you take very good care of those seeds. You make sure that they're protected against the cold. You make sure they get watered enough and not overwatered. You make sure they get enough food if that's what you're doing. And you really take care of them. You don't keep pulling them out of the soil and going, look everyone, there's a seed, look at what I've planted. Putting it back in the next day, look everyone, look at that seed, look at it, it's going to grow into a big oak tree. Look at that, look at it. You don't do that. So it's the same with your dreams and plans, and I really respect that too. So if you have got a goal or desire that you want to share, maybe in the Visibility Vibes tribe, because we know it's a lovely supportive space, then go ahead and do so. Remember to tag me in there if you can, so that I can, that I see it and I don't ignore it. I hate ignoring people. I don't like people to not feel acknowledged, and even more not seen or heard. But if you want to share underneath here, maybe an insight or something that you got from this sharing, what have you decided to decide on? What will you now decide your yes or no? What will you go back and revisit? How will you start your day? How will you get quiet? How do you get quiet? How could it help other people? I'd love you to share a little bit of an insight on here. So thank you so much for watching. The next Visibility Made Easy will be tomorrow night, same time, 7 p.m. UK. And I know the clocks have changed. It might be kind of 11 or 12. Or 2 or 3 where you are. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really hoping that you decide. And those books, if you're in, I think it's called Postmark Online. There's another post underneath there. I was so pleased with these. I took a picture and posted it, and they've come back to acknowledge it. So you can actually get these things online. So look forward to seeing you out in the world, and look forward to you being seen, being heard, and being completely visible out there in the world, so that people can find the things that you do that I know makes a absolutely huge difference in their lives. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Bye for now. Bye Janet. Bye Candy. Bye Penny. Bye Francelise. Bye-bye Alan. Bye-bye Ali. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye for now.